back of the net. Medina! Go for the birthday boy! Goal!
From the UW Milwaukee Panther Arena in downtown Milwaukee, Wisconsin. It's the Major Arena Soccer League today. The Milwaukee Wave hosting the St. Louis Ambush. And a pleasant, happy New Year's Eve day wherever you may be. Tom Wynn along with the Wave Hall of Famer Art Kramer as we greet you from the black turf of Panther Arena. Well, Art, the Wave off to a good start this year, 3-0, including a couple of solid road victories over the Kansas City Comets and Florida Tropics. Milwaukee has not played since December 22nd, so they are certainly well rested coming into this. Their opponent today, their South Central Division rival, the St. Louis Ambush. Ambush check in at 3-3, and they appear to be a vastly improved team this year under Coach Everton Herrera.
Yeah, they won one game 2 years ago in their regular season. They won 3 games last season, and they've already got 3 games under their belt this season. 3-3, they come in, this is their best start in quite some time. And Everton, former Wave player, is doing a really nice job. He's got this team playing very deliberate. They're very calm on the ball. They're very technical. They got 9 Brazilian players that he's brought in. And they drop back defensively and make it very difficult for you. But they're not a team that's built to come from behind. So the key for Everton and his troops today is to come out in the first half and try to establish a lead on the Wave.
The Ambush is trying to break a 20-game losing streak to the Milwaukee Wave. Since the reincarnation of the Ambush in 2013-14, they have not defeated the Milwaukee Wave. And Art, I got to imagine that is weighing on them like a huge elephant. However, when you beat a team 20 times in a row at the major professional level, you know at some time that streak is bound to end. Hopefully not today for the Wave.
So you wanting to bet on the Ambush today? Is that what you're saying? Well, for Giuliano Oliviero and the Wave, you said it, 20 straight games, and let's face it, this team over here behind us is just more talented than most of the teams in the MASL, and so for Giuliano and this team, come out, establish the lead early, do what you do, win your home games, play a nice, deliberate style, play good defensively in front of Josh Lemos, and take care of business. Go out and have a nice New Year's Eve celebration.
Wave is 17-8 all-time on the New Year's Eve Day games here at Milwaukee Panther Arena, so hoping to push that winning streak to 3 in a row if they can get victory today over St. Louis. Should be a good one. Stay with us. This is Wave Soccer and MASL.TV.
Pereira into the back of the net. Medina! Go for the birthday boy! Goal!
And so we are just about set to go here from the UW Milwaukee Panther Arena. Welcome once again to today's broadcast. Tom went along with the Wave Hall of Famer, Art Kramer, and indeed we welcome you wherever you may be in the city of Milwaukee, Milwaukee County, the state of Wisconsin, in St. Louis, in the state of Missouri, even over in Illinois in the St. Louis metro area, in the United States of America, the North American continent, the planet Earth, the International Space Station, or worlds beyond. Welcome, 1-0. Tom and Art with you here. And Art, another big New Year's Eve day event here for the Milwaukee Wave, this time against the St. Louis Ambush.
And you said New Year's Eve, which is correct, Tom. And tonight at midnight, when someone says to you, Happy New Year, you respond or reply with Happy New Year. It's not Happy New Year's. You and I, Tom, we don't need more than 1 year at a time. Okay, so it is the New Year's Eve game. That is plural, but tonight when they say Happy New Year, it's Happy New Year.
You got it. No, and I like your philosophy of not looking more than a year ahead of the time, not looking more than one game at a time. And speaking of today's game, pretty good matchup, Art. We previewed it a bit on the pregame show, but there is no doubt this is going to be a tough match for the Milwaukee Wave today against a rapidly improving St. Louis Ambush team. And Ambush, having played just a couple days ago, suffering the 10-4 loss at home to the Kansas City Comets to drop their record to 3-3, but they're going to have their legs, you would think, a little sooner in today's game than the Wave, which is coming off the 7-2 win in Florida back on December 22nd. So we'll see early how that plays out. And now from Panther Arena, here is our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
And you can hear the crowd roaring after that nice rendition of the national anthem by Ryan Lane Schultz. But you can feel the atmosphere today, Art. As usual on New Year's Eve day, pretty good crowd gathered, but highly anticipating today's matchup between the Wave and the St. Louis Ambush.
I like the fact that they've moved these start times till 3:05, Tom. Remember back in the day, it used to be a 1:05 start time? And I lived downtown, and so it was straight, about 3:30 start, headed out to the local establishments. And then by midnight, it felt like it was 7 or 8 in the morning. So I'm much better accustomed now to these 3:05 start times. Like them a lot better.
I would have to agree. I would have to agree with you there. The Wave on New Year's Eve day, this is their 26th time playing a home game on December 31st. They are 17-8, currently working on a 2-game winning streak, having defeated the Kansas City Comets here last year 6-4 and the Chicago Mustangs 9-4 the year before that. The previous 2 years in the MASL, overtime losses to both Chicago in 2015 and Missouri in 2014. Of course, the Missouri game, Art, one of the epic games in Wave history, even though the Wave ended up losing in a shootout 8-7, but that was the one in which LSO Luan Oliveira scored the game-tying goal with 0.2 of a second remaining to send that one into OT. And then eventually the Comets, who finished undefeated during the regular season that year, prevailed on the shootout 8-7. There's the goalkeeper for the Milwaukee Wave, Josh Lemos, having a few words with his teammates here as he gets ready to come out on the field. Josh, 3-0 like the Wave is so far this year. And so far, Art, I've been very impressed with Milwaukee. Solid offensively, solid defensively in the 3 games so far.
They have a lot of veteran players on the team, and we know that the veteran players in the indoor league have had a tendency to have success. So No shortage of veterans there. You see Coach Giuliano Oliviero sporting the nice tie here on the just to the left of Josh Lemos.
Giuliano in his 5th year as the head coach of the Milwaukee Wave, directing the Wave to a 17-5 record a year ago.
Say hello to all our friends in St. Louis, Tom. I know Brian Roth, the general manager, Jim Fossil, who puts together their notes and their media. Like to say hello to those guys, probably watching back in St. Louis. I know Brian was really worried we were going to get some of these pronunciations wrong, Tom, but we have the pronunciation guide. I mean, how hard is it to say Cody Abraham anyway? Oh, check that. Corey Adamson. We'll do our best, Brian.
Well, if we botch it up, it certainly isn't the pronunciation chart. It's probably our vision trying to take a look at it up here amidst the dark girders of the top of Milwaukee Panther Arena. But down below us, a great crowd gathered as these two South Central Division rivals will square off against each other. St. Louis in the white uniforms, they kick off going right to left, and here we go from Panther Arena. That is McGee Suarez, number 70, one of about 5 or 6 first-year players on this team. There's another one down low. That's Zach Riggett, the native of Kenosha, Wisconsin. Played his college ball at Trinity International University, just over the border in the Chicago area. Riggett, no doubt, Arts, had to have checked out a game or two as a youngster of the Milwaukee Wave, but all of a sudden he has burst onto the scene in St. Louis. Number 22 for the ambush. Probably has some friends and relatives here today, no doubt, coming up from Kenosha. Meanwhile, Milwaukee controls as Chino, Angel Curiel will lay it back. Ian Bennett with it now, across from Marcio Leite. Speaking of Juan Salas Oliveira, he will miss today's game. Took a knock on the leg in that Florida contest. And so he is out today, listed as game by game. Wave is hoping to get him back on the upcoming road trip to Mississauga and Utica. Jonathan Santos able to steer that one away. Now Leite tracking it down as it taken away. Justin Stinson walking in, shot, and it's cleared off from behind as it looked like Chino got there to help out his goalkeeper, Josh Lemos.
Well, that ball was going into the back of the net if Chino had not made a nice recovery run behind Lemos. Watch once again. There's number 21, Stinson. Little toe poke, and there's Chino with a nice recovery run to the far post to keep the ambush off the board.
Our Wisconsin Vision instant replay giving you a great look at that one as that play evolved.
See number 21 there for the ambush, Tom. Brings to mind a former number 21 the ambush used to have that played for the Wave, an indoor soccer superstar in Joe Reiniger.
Joe Reiniger, the left footer, one of the most lethal long-range left foots in modern indoor soccer history.
Stinson kind of looks like a young Joe Reiniger with that hair.
Yeah, I'm not sure Joe would concur with that, but he's a pretty good player, so he's wearing the number proudly right now.
I thought that was a pretty good compliment for Joe.
I'm not saying Joe wouldn't like to have the volume of hair that Stinson has. I'm just not sure that style would really be Joe's. Joe, happy New Year's Eve if you happen to be tuning into today's game. Collinsville, Illinois native who...
Forget Joe. Happy New Year's Eve to Kim Reiniger. That's the one we want to say Happy New Year's Eve to.
All right, Robert Renault, R squared, cracks a shot just above the frame. Rebound will come out. And played back to the goalkeeper, Lemos. Renault on the near wing being watched by Pedalera. Clayton Matus, 34-year-old Brazilian in his second season with the ambush. R squared looks at the post now. Andre Hayne. Andre turning. Left foot shot was blocked at the top of the box. And as Robert Acosta tries to play it, he goes down, foul is called. Acosta, the reigning MASL Defender of the Year. And I believe, Art, this might be his first appearance on the season. Probably battling some injuries. Check that second appearance on the season. Actually did pick an assist in his earlier outing this year. But he led the league in shots blocked last year, a year ago. want to say he had 49 in that category. Veteran out of Waverly College. Wartburg College, I should say, in Waverly, Iowa.
You can see the defensive strategy of the ambush. They're going to drop back to the half line, start their point of pressure there. One of the big keys for being successful against this type of defense is to get the early lead, try to extend it, and force them to come out a little bit defensively. But some of the keys as well, Tom, is you really need to attack the flanks, attack the end board, try to create space along the width. And then don't be afraid to shoot from long range. You get traffic in front of Paulo.
Well, the other night against Kansas City, they were playing the high pressure game. Of course, again, they were playing at home and playing against a Kansas City team. They perceived that perhaps they could pressure a bit more, but Kansas City definitely turned the tables on them after falling behind 2-0. The Comets scored 10 of the next 12 goals to win that one going away at 10-4.
2-0 in the first, and then 6 unanswered by Kansas City.
Yerme Vega handling for Milwaukee, leaves it off for Max Ferdinand. Max, always one of the leading playmakers in the league. Shot on that time. Vega turned away by Paulo Nascimento. Nascimento, the primary starter, although his backup, Casey Clark, did play opening nights down in Orlando and picked up a shootout victory. Ruggles heads it across. Ian Bennett. Ian, 8 goals already on the campaign, still among the top 10. Most of his other challengers on the list have already played 5, 6, 7 games. Only the Wave and Monterey have played the fewest games in this league at 3 apiece. Wave at 3-0, Monterey at 2-1 down in the Southwest Division.
One of the keys for the ambush is when they win possession of the ball, they're going to want to keep the ball. You saw Reggett right there try to counterattack quickly, and if it's not on, I'm sure Everton would like to see them keep the ball, try to connect some passes, take the air out of it a little bit.
Have not had a high volume of opportunities on either side thus far. Ferdinand trying to get to the line, got cut off that time. And now coming back the other way is Mario Marcos. Back heel for the trailing Corey Adamson, didn't get it, and Adamson took an inadvertent elbow in the side of the head. And they're going to get Jonathan Santos for it. Looked strictly inadvertent that time. To see Santos, the veteran defender for Milwaukee.
Here's another look right here. You see, yeah, definitely a foul on Santos. He pushed off with that right hand right to Adamson's face.
Santos in his 11th season, 8th with Milwaukee, playing in his 102nd regular season contest, 25 goals, 26 assists all time. And just like that, Marcos pounds one into the nets off the free kick. And the ambush lead it 1-0.
Love the approach there by the ambush. You saw right there, Marcos, number 40, just step up, 2-man wall by the Wave. Little surprise with that, because that's about the same distance out as the top of the arc. Not sure why the Wave didn't put 3 in the wall, but Marcos catches him by surprise and just hits a blistering shot into the upper left-hand corner.
So Mario Marcos puts St. Louis on top. For Marcos, his 5th goal of the year, also has an assist for 6 points. Unassisted at 5:28. Restart goal for the ambush. And St. Louis playing from in front right now.
That was one of those tweeners, Tom, I like to call them, between the middle of the arc and the boards. Once again, surprised the Wave from that distance, didn't go 3 in the wall.
Lucas Almeida going to get called for the foul in St. Louis as he put down Chino. Well, the Wave gave up the first goal in Florida in their last game off a free kick to the Tropics, and then came back for a 7-2 victory. Let's see how they do today coming from behind. Renault stepping up as he and Isaac Pereira were both trying to get the possession. Played upfield by Felipe, but eventually Lemos and the Wave will get it. Ryan Sigich, Rich Grady, two of the veteran officials in this league, two of the best in the game. Ryan, of course, the referee-in-chief for the Major Arena Soccer League. They are the men in the red shirts for today's game.
Ricardinho with it. Ricardinho just a week shy of his 30th birthday. Now in his 3rd season with the Wave, his 7th overall in North American indoor soccer. Lemos will step up, play it for Pereira. Isaac, the Mexican native, trying to work his way along the boards. Nascimento will step out and clear downfield.
Good job by Paulo that time, the St. Louis keeper, to keep that ball in play.
Paulo not a big guy. They list him at 5'9", but he's got pretty good quickness and fairly good set of distributional skills, it would appear. We saw him a couple times last year, and he showed fairly well in a few of his outings against the Wave. Renault will drop it back to Lemos. Josh in his 3rd year with the Wave, become one of the league's premier goalkeepers. Josh coming into today's game 3-0, just like the Wave, and his all-time career record now at 30-7. So a very impressive log as well for the young man out of Quebec. Ricardinho out high, trying to see if he can work his way past Almeida, but has to lay it back. Daniel Chamale with it, goes across for Ian Bennett.
I like the patience, Tom, but it's just far too slow. Watch, it's touch, stop. Stop the ball, touch, stop the ball, touch. At some point, you got to try to find your target and run off them. St. Louis will take this all day long.
Well, one of the things that is helping the ambush and other teams like this who want to drop back and play this style is the fact that the goalkeeper can no longer come across midfield and possess the ball until the 4th quarter. So they basically can stay in this shell for 3 periods if they want to and not have to worry about the goalkeeper pressing forward. And obviously the Wave has had one of the best in Josh Lemos. He had 3 goals and 10 assists himself last year. Good chance now, though, after that foul with the restart coming.
Virtually the same spot of the field that St. Louis scored from.
Ricardinho will step over, and a shot by Chamale turned away by Nascimento, and it's time for our immediate timeout. 6:43 left to go here in the 1st quarter. St. Louis leads at 1-0 on the goal by Marcos, his 5th of the year, unassisted off the free kick at 5:28. So the Wave playing its 4th game of the month and will hit January with a total of 4 games in the first 2 weekends. As you see Coach Oliviero talking rather intensely with his team down there. Big road trip coming up to Mississauga and then Utica, the 5th and the 6th next weekend. And then the following weekend after that, Milwaukee will have back-to-back home games here at the UW-Milwaukee Panther Arena. So busy schedule going to come up in a hurry for the Milwaukee Wave.
I didn't see Giuliano talking I was looking at the notes, Tom, but gotta imagine he was telling his boys, hey, let's go. It's great to pass the ball around on the outside, but let's go at this team with some urgency and put them back on their heels a little bit.
All right, corner kick coming as Max Ferdinand puts it in. Renault drives one in. Rebound, shot to goal! And the Wave has tied it at 1 apiece.
Marcio Leite right on the doorstep. Watch the play again. Ferdinand starts it. Direct shot that time by Renault. And there's Leite beating the defender at the far post. And apparently the Wave players got the message from Giuliano Oliviero.
Pretty quick response from the Wave to tie this thing up at 1 apiece. Leite converts at 8:20 of the first period. Renault should get the assist as he sent it in there, and the save was made by Nascimento. Marcio right there at the doorstep to put it in.
It's been so neat to watch the evolution of Marcio Leite as an indoor soccer player, Tom. Years ago, you'd see a lot of shooting from the outside, a lot of 1v1 ability.
Now Milwaukee gets it back. Shot just wide right as Isaac Pereira had a great chance there, but pushed it wide to the left post.
But how Marcio's game has really evolved is now he gets into the box and into the far post and does a lot of the dirty work to score goals that way as well, and you saw it right there on the free kick.
Marcio gets his first goal of the year, also has 3 assists for 4 points. Nascimento kicks away that inboard pass by Andre Hain. Good step up there by Santos to knock it back into the St. Louis zone. So Leite is first of the year from Renault at 8:20 of the first period to tie it up. Back come the ambush on the attack. That's Axel Duarte trying to work the end board. Came out as Pedalera, Clayton Matus had a shot that was blocked out. And then on the rebound, Rick Pereira got knocked down and drew the foul. Looked like he fell right on top of the ball. Hopefully he's going to be okay. Those can really knock the wind out of you. Long ball downfield. Bennett battling with Acosta, and somehow Nascimento able to come up with it with his face intact. Matus with a little touch to Riget, and we get a whistle, and what's going on? Might be too many men on the field against somebody here. Let's see who it is. Robert Renault, who picked up the assist on the goal by Leite, now with a total of 7 points on the year. That was Robert's 4th assist. Ian Bennett leading the Wave in scoring coming in today's game. 8 goals, 2 assists, 10 points. Max Ferdinand right behind him, number 2 on the team list. 1 goal, 6 assists, 7 points.
Too many men that time by the ambush, Tom, and credit Rafael Diaz, the Waves backup keeper. He's not dressed tonight, but he's working the door down on the Waves bench, and he was the guy who spotted it and quickly put his hands up to alert the referees. Good job that time by Rafa to spot too many men on the field by the ambush.
Looks like Scherzer Gibson is going to go over and serve the penalty.
And the ambush have been dreadful so far this year, killing penalties, Tom. They've given up 8 power play goals, and they've only killed 2 penalties.
Yeah, St. Louis shorthanded 10 times. As Art said, they've given up 8 power play tallies. Wave, on the other hand, still trying to get it going on the power play. 33%, they are 2 for 6. Renault centering Max in the middle, draws the keeper out, but he could not chip it over him. Now the outlet, far side, Felipe. Ricardinho there to cut him off. Marcio also over to help out.
Space was just a little too tight that time for Max. I was surprised he didn't look to his left to try to find Ian, as he normally does.
Leite, Ricardinho, Renault, Ian, and Max. So it's the Rymax trio with Leite and Ricardinho. St. Louis with Felipe and Riget up top. Ball worked to the corner, it's turned away. Now Renault in a foot race with the hustling McGee Suarez. McGee and Pepe now working the top of the PKD. Pepe knocks it away, he's already celebrating. There's still 30 seconds left to go on the Wave power play. Back out for Ricardinho as he plays it over to Ferdinand. Max looking around, Renault. Renault trying to get top of the area, couldn't do it, and he's involved in a collision with Suarez, and a foul going to be called on Renault. And Robert may have taken the worst of that as well. Let's take a look one more time at the Wisconsin Vision instant replay.
Robert's right knee hit the calf.
That collision with Suarez there. Yeah, interesting about Suarez. His first name is spelled M-A-G-U-I, but it's pronounced McGee, like an Irish guy. I guess he must be big in St. Patrick's Day down in Brazil. Hopefully Robert's going to be okay. Robert, of course, coming off a season in which he suffered a torn ACL midway through the last year, when he was arguably one of the candidates to possibly be a team or league MVP. He was having such a great year, 19 goals, 12 assists in his first 12 last year.
Watch one more time. Watch the right knee right there of Renault catch McGee. Hopefully both players are going to be okay. Good job of penalty killing this time around by the Ambush. They did a good job of taking the passing lanes away from the Wave. The Wave failed to get a good shot off there on the power play.
Wave gets it back quickly, but St. Louis recovering the possession. Got 5 left to go with the man advantage. So maybe one more chance on the power play. Max was trying to look for Marcio backdoor, but couldn't get it through. Yeah, give the Ambush credit for killing that one off. They certainly did not look like a 20% penalty killing team on that penalty kill.
And part of it is still early in the season. Those percentages start to balance out a little bit, but the Wave playing their 4th game of the season, the Ambush playing their 7th.
Ambush actually last year was above average as far as penalty killing, 65%. But they have changed over personnel a bit this year, so probably trying to refine that penalty killing unit. Chino trying to get to the right side of the box, but the keeper, Nascimento, slides out to shut him down. Now Chamali with it. Daniel had an outstanding game down in Lakeland against the Tropics in the Waves' most recent outing. I would venture to say, Art, maybe his best performance overall as a member of the Wave. This is 3rd season. Andre with the back heel lead. Chino trying to get around, but lost control, and Nascimento able to pick it up. Nascimento not afraid to handle the ball away from the penalty area. Good play by Max to stop the pass upfield from Adamson. Chino, Ian, he'll crank up the shot, far post, just wide. Hain gets it back, challenged by Regat. Chamali now, as Regat stays with him. Regat again, native of Kenosha, Wisconsin, and good size, good speed and quickness out there.
I like the Ambush, the commitment so far defensively. All 5 players working hard back in their own half of the field.
Max out high, working against Acosta. Trying to send it in, deflected by Adamson, punched away by Nascimento. Acosta will lay it back. Dos Santos sends it forward, and it'll be corralled that time by Chamali. Back up for Lemos, who comes as far as he can right now. Remember, keepers can only possess the ball in their defensive half of the field until the 4th quarter. Drew Ruggles with it. Ruggles, the 5th-year pro out of Georgia Southern. Now here's Chino. Trying to work around Almeida. Pepe also trying to keep an eye on him. Pass in is blocked away. Final 22 seconds of the first period, and a foul going to be called against Almeida.
Chino has the right idea. That's what you want to do. Try to attack, get them turned around a little bit so the play's not right out in front of them.
Second foul against Almeida. Remember, you get 3 personals in each half. On your 4th, your team gives up a 2-minute power play. Max trying to work against Acosta. Max got it on the right foot, sent it across. And Dos Santos is there to clear it out. 10 seconds left to go in the period. Lemos will drive one in. It's headed away again by Dos Santos. Josh will reload, chip one in, and that's going to do it. So a good first period, tied at 1. As Marcos scores for St. Louis to put him on top. Leite answers for Milwaukee, and that's where we stand after the first 15 minutes. Wave 1, Ambush 1. We'll take a break, come back with more. This is Wave Soccer on MASL.TV.
What did I get from my father? His spirit. I got his warmth, his understanding. What did I learn? His passion for helping others was for me everything I was meant to be.
While every agent's story is different, the promise is still the same. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Huppy and Abraham has been voted best by the public year after year. Now, top media outlets have rated them best personal injury law firm.
You only have one opportunity to call the best.
Huppy and Abraham.
I got almost $4 million.
800,000.
If you've been injured in an accident, tell them you mean business. Call Huppy and Abraham, 800-800-5678, and get their win or it's free guarantee.
Every holiday season, Huppy and Abraham likes to get in the spirit of giving. That's why we have our holiday cash contest. And we're doing it again this year. Who couldn't use some extra cash to buy gifts, host a family feast, or maybe even take a vacation? Now is your chance to win some extra money during the holidays. We will be giving away cash in November and December to a few lucky winners. Don't miss your chance to win. Go to huppy.com/holidaycash to learn more and enter today.
We had a vision of creating a sports medicine program from the grassroots level, from peewees to the pros. At Midwest Orthopedic Specialty Hospital, we are taking care of athletes and getting them back on the field. Over 80% of the patients that come to see us for sports-related injuries do not need surgery. That really surprises people. We can relate to our patients because many of us have been there. Athletes like to say they give 110%. Well, guess what? So do we.
Check it out. Hey, we could go down this water pond. What do you think? So beautiful.
You want some? It's good. It's refreshing.
I've never been in love before you. I know now. I've never been in love before.
This is what our version of financial planning looks like. Tomorrow's important, but she's only 7 once. Spend your life living. Today's the day. Find an advisor at northwesternmutual.com.
All right, we were back as we get set for the start of the second period here in Milwaukee. And you're watching the between periods contest go on the old 1980s style rowing machine. This is 1980s prom theme is our event today. Van the Man McNeil, dressed in character as always.
You got one of those down in your basement, Tom, don't you?
Somewhere.
Dust that baby off.
Yeah, I think the water leaked out of it a long time ago, but it's down there somewhere. Anyway, part of the crowd here enjoying today's festivities. We got a good one going, tied at 1 after 1, with St. Louis getting on the board first on the goal by Mario Marcos, his 5th of the year unassisted off a restart. And then Marcio Leite answering with his 1st of the year from Robert Renaud. And not technically a restart goal because Renaud took the shot after the initial corner kick, but for all intents and purposes, another restart goal.
Talk about the 80s theme, Tom, and you know, in the first quarter you saw guys blocking shots and they're doing the fist pump and they're just had a head ball and a fist pump, and man, you look at the NFL, right, and a lot of the celebrations that are going on today, and you wonder what Conrad Dobler or Merlin Olsen would think about it. I think about some of the old-time defenders in the Major Indoor Soccer League. Doc Lawson, Bernie James, some of those guys. Gee, driving them nuts watching this stuff.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. To say that some of the celebrations are a bit premature these days might be a bit accurate, but well, that's the modern way, I guess. Enjoy the moments.
I'm trying to, Tom.
Wave going right to left here in the second period. Milwaukee with the black and electric yellow or green numbers and trim. Moving right to left as you look at the action. Some thoughts on the first period?
Thought the ambush game plan's very good and their execution was very good. Kept the Waves' chances limited.
Yeah, again, their defensive approach, much different from what it was the other night at home against Kansas City, but not surprising. You know, when you're at home, a lot of times you're going to use some of that energy to be a little more aggressive full field, but on the road you tend to be a bit more conservative.
And for the Wave, I'd like to, as I said before, I'd like to see him attack the end line a little bit more, the end boards, like right here, spin to the boards. So there you go, and then that ball off the boards.
Ferdinand double team, but he is able to retain possession as Chad Vandergriff gets it.
I like the fact now off the ball, Max Ferdinand's going to be sent to the box.
Yeah, Max is going to get the penalty as Rich Grady is holding up the card. Max looked like he indicated he thought he got head-butted. And you see Acosta, I believe that is, down for the ambush. Or no, check that, that's McGee Suarez. See if we can catch it on replay now.
You just saw the tail end of it there. You didn't see if it was a retaliation or not. You did see Ferdinand definitely make contact with McGee.
So Max Ferdinand will go to the box at 1:52 of the second period. Elbowing, striking, take your choice. And we'll see how the Waves penalty kill does. St. Louis has already killed off one power play today.
St. Louis struggling as much on their own offensive power plays as well, just 1 for 11 this season.
You know, when you look at the ambush special teams or lack thereof, Art, pretty impressive that they've put together a 500 record so far with half those games coming on the road. As you take a look at Max Ferdinand there. I think Max was trying to look up and see if there was any video of the situation there, but he'll be in the box for 2 minutes as the ambush bring it up. Wave is also a 33% penalty killing team as they have killed off just 1 of 3 so far this year. Well, the good news is Milwaukee isn't taking a lot of penalties so far. And hopefully they can improve their PK percentage with a kill here.
Santos and Marcio Leite in the back for this Wave penalty killing unit. As you know, Tom, Tenzin Rampa out for the season. Tenzin would normally captain this man down unit. Big loss for the Wave.
Yeah, Tenzin, the team captain, veteran defender, going out with a season-ending knee injury in the aftermath of a celebration following a goal opening night for the Wave. Ian Bennett trying to keep it alive and ends up bumping into Paulo. Foul going to be called against Bennett. And again, nothing malicious there with Ian. Let's check it out one more time.
The ambush a little bit casual in their own zone. You see Ian come in. Definitely a foul on Ian. And Paulo's still down.
Now this could be problems for St. Louis. They only have one keeper suited up, which of course is Paulo Nascimento. Casey Clark would be their number 2 guy, but he's not dressed for today.
They've got Mark Litton down there on the bench.
Assistant coach Mark Litton, who's arguably the most experienced indoor keeper, if you're not counting professional appearances, maybe in North American history. You know, I'm still surprised that they haven't erected a plaque to that guy. Speaking about Mark Litton, back where Soccer USA used to be. He and Brian Cook, I think, probably played more games in the nets. But even Mark probably had about 5 times as many as Moose played in down there. 2 legendary keepers from the old Soccer USA days. And that was the Waves' original indoor soccer facility, training facility. Takeaway there, here comes Marcio. And he is knocked down at midfield.
Oh.
Foul's going to be called. The fans were looking for a card right there. It was pretty close.
That's absolutely 2 minutes there. Marcio is going past the ambush defender, and he sticks out the leg to take him down. I think Rich Grady, think Ryan Sigich kind of looked away as it was happening and not sure he saw that one clearly.
That was Suarez, who caught a break there, only getting a personal foul. Ambush get it back. Still a minute to go on their power play as they bring it up left to right. Suarez and Pepe out high. Now JT Thomas, the second-year man from Missouri State, trying to get it down low, but the Wave takes it away. And here's Chamale coming upfield, but Suarez takes it away. Lays it off for Regat. Leite, Bennett, Chamale, and Santos, the penalty killers for the Wave right now. Regat to the near side, lays it back. Suarez now cross on the far wing. Looked like Stinson trying to put a pass in. It was broken up, and Bennett trying to clear, and unlucky for Ian, it did not hit glass, turf, or boards. Went into the St. Louis bench, and top of the arc power play restart coming for the Ambush.
Not a smart play that time by Bennett. I'm not sure why he tried to hit it with so much pace. If you're just going to clear the ball down the field, he didn't need to hit it with that velocity.
Here they come, and shot near side. Did not sneak in from Dos Santos. Wow, we got the angle on that one. I don't know how that didn't go in.
Hit both posts, hit the near post, then the back post, and actually the Wave then got away with a handball from Leite at the far post. That ball came back and hit Marcio in the hand.
As our old buddy Nick Vassos would say, ding dong, off both posts.
Yeah, Wave very fortunate there, both posts, and then it was a handball on Marcio at the back post.
So the Wave kills off the penalty. We're still even at one apiece. Acosta and Dos Santos working in the backfield. Dos Santos actually scored a game-winning goal here, Art, in overtime for the Chicago Mustangs back during the 2015-16 season on New Year's Eve day. So if there's one place he probably has some good memories of on New Year's Eve day, it would be right here. Number 15 for the Ambush. And that one will bounce on the shelf in front of the Wave bench. Milwaukee will put it back in. All right, let's see if the game starts to open up here a bit. Renault with it. Robert on the angle, trying to get top of the area. Nice move there. Rolls it in with the left foot just wide. Good move upfield that time by Renault. And then Adamson with the clearance. Up and into the stands. And top of the arc restart coming from Milwaukee. All right, here they come. Marcio on the ball. He will lay it off far side. Shot a goal! It's D squared. Dreadlock Drew Ruggles, and Milwaukee leads it 2-1.
Restart magic there for the Wave. They were a little slow getting their personnel on the field. Ruggles, the man that scored, was just waiting down at the back post, and you see Marcio find him, and Drew, as he's done quite often here in the last 2 years, just pinpoint accuracy from that spot on the restarts. Watch Paulo not able to get over to cover the near post quick enough, and Ruggles makes him pay.
Drew's third goal of the year. That has accounted for all of his points. Leite with the assist as Milwaukee scores on the restart at 4:55 in the second period to take its first lead of the game at 2-1. Marcio with a goal and an assist today. That was his fourth helper of the year. And basically all three goals have been scored on restarts so far today.
Such a fine line between winning and losing in this league. You saw Bennett clear it over the top of the boards, and the Ambush have a restart from the top of the arc, don't score, and then Adamson clears it over the boards, and the Wave does have a restart, and they capitalize.
Marcio looking far wing. He was trying to find Pereira down there, but got under it a bit, put it up in the stands. So it's St. Louis's turn to play from behind. Good pressure up front by the Wave. Ricardinho trying to, or rather Pereira trying to spin to the middle, had it poked away. Ambush will start upfield. Regat with it, holding off Marcio. Lays it off on the far wing. Poked away from Felipe, and then a good block there as Ricardinho will play it up Andre Hain. Andre, one of the biggest forwards in this league. Goes about 6'3", 200 pounds. Tremendously skilled Brazilian native. Played his college soccer in the St. Louis area at Lindenwood University in St. Charles. They produced a few players in this league over the years. There's a shot just wide. And Milwaukee able to clear it up. Here comes Isaac Pereira, 1-on-4. Good job there by Isaac to hold up with it, keep the possession. Well done.
Very nice job that time by Isaac. After a good shift by the ambush, they pinned the Wave into their own zone. Weren't letting them break the pressure.
Again, ambush coming off a game they played just 2 days ago. Milwaukee, their first outing in 9 days. Wave seems like they've been able to match the like so far for St. Louis. We'll see as the game goes on if the additional rest pays dividends for Milwaukee. Bennett, try maneuver past Duarte, sends it in. Now R squared lays it back. Bennett coming through, and the tackle by Duarte, shot by Renault is high. Milwaukee will reload, and Marcio will let it go back for Josh Lemos.
It's not been an easy game to referee thus far for Rich Grady and Ryan Sigich. A lot of off-the-ball contact, 50-50 challenges.
Pretty good intensity here thus far. And you'd expect nothing less in a division rivalry type game. And you certainly wouldn't expect anything less for the ambush trying to break a 20-game losing streak to Milwaukee. That's 2-0. They've come close a couple of times. Wave has had a couple of OT victories against St. Louis during that time, and we've had some other close games. Good one going here today. 7 minutes left to go first half. Gino will play it across near side for Leite. Now looks in for Renault. Nice pass across as Bennett tied up with a couple of defenders, able to get off a weak shot, but no problem there for Nascimento. Good step up there by Vandegrift. Help out defensively.
One thing that Everton has been able to accomplish with this St. Louis team is he doesn't allow them to get stretched out on either side of the ball. They keep it nice and compact. They're much more organized than they've been in years past.
Yeah, and again, I think combination of some improved personnel to work with. They definitely have the better ability to make up if they do make mistakes or get out of shape. They do have the speed now to recover and be a little more formidable in that regard, I think, than they have been in the past.
And it's worth mentioning that Everton as well is not playing. He's on the bench to be able to organize from the bench.
Gino going up the far board and is checked into the official by Justin Stinson, and the foul is called. And take a look at this. Rich Grady is going to catch a bit of contact here.
Come on, Rich, you got to jump there. Jump up. Get your rear end on the boards there, right in front of Scotty Fellows. Told you this was a difficult game to referee.
Scotty Fellows, of course, the longtime scoreboard operator for the Milwaukee Wave. Does a tremendous job. And can provide a bit of additional security if the officials in the box need it. I believe he's the guardian of the official Art Kramer on the floor chair as well down there.
Yeah, we brought a chair out in the pregame introduction, sir. The pregame that Tom and I tape. I use a chair to make myself a little taller, and instead of bringing it all the way back, we just put it in the penalty box tonight. So told Scotty to make sure he watches that chair.
Yeah, I still think we got to find a sponsor for that, for sure. And now they're going to call Andre Hain for a foul, as Andre was trying to create space to retain possession. Check it out here. Andre's saying, how could it be me? You saw Suarez had a hold of his hand there. Wave keeping the pressure on. Milwaukee has been trying to apply the pressure to the ambush when they have the opportunity. Now Felipe slides it across for Stinson. Stinson, the St. Charles, Missouri native, back for Felipe, looking across off the inboard. Adamson, oh, he had it on the left foot, but fortunately a bit off balance and put it up and over. Timeout on the floor for our media timeout. 4:26 left to go here in the second period. It's the Wave 2, St. Louis 1. Once again, we'd like to mention that the official MASL ball and the M2 ball is manufactured by Miter, which has been in production since 1817. The Miter ball is the official ball of the Major Arena Soccer League. Well, Art, we expected a pretty tight contest so far today. Looks like we're getting it. Game starting to open up a little bit here as we come down the stretch in the first half.
Well, you said it, all three goals have been basically restart goals. I guess the first one the Wave scored would have not been credited as a restart goal, but certainly the other two that were scored were. And so special teams becomes a big part of this game. And once again, we've seen over the years, this is where the Wave has thrived, and the ambush has got to figure it out a little bit more here going forward.
We talked about the Wave, their upcoming road trip to Mississauga this upcoming Saturday, January 5th. That'll be a 2:05 Eastern Time contest from the Paramount Fine Foods Center. Mississauga featuring MLS legend Dwayne De Rosario. And watching D-Row on the tape so far, looks like he's figured it out pretty well. Hard to believe he's 40 years old. He still moves as a man much younger and much sprier than that. And to say he has a good read of the game would be a major understatement. He plays the game like he invented it. And then the next day, Art, the trip to the city, Utica City, on the blue turf of the Adirondack Bank Center, where that raucous crowd, 4,000 or so, where they sell out that building seemingly now every time, is going to be right up in the grill of the Milwaukee Wave against the red-hot UCFC team that is 5-1, has already 2 wins against Baltimore in that facility. That'll be Sunday, January 6th at 1 o'clock Central Time. Wave coming back home to host Kansas City on Friday the 11th at 7:05, and St. Louis again on Saturday, January 12th at 1:05 here at Panther Arena. Call the Wave office for tickets, 414-224-WAVE. You can also order at MilwaukeeWave.com. Alex Bradley, number 14 for Milwaukee, trying a shot there that's blocked. Alex, a second-year player out of Loras University in Dubuque, Iowa. British native who broke in last year with the Cedar Rapids Rampage. Ambush going left to right, wearing the white unis here in the second period. They scored first when Marcos got a goal at 5:28 of the first. Leyte answered at 8:20 of the first, and then Ruggles at 4:55 of the second, the only goal in this period to make it 2-1 Milwaukee. In tight, Duarte turning shot that was squelched in there, and a foul going to be called against St. Louis. I think they're going to get Zach Regan, and I think Rich Grady's going to tell Mr. Regan, hey kid, take it easy here.
Mention Utica City, and if you go on Facebook in the MASL Off the Wall, which is kind of the fan forum, there's a post from Ubi Parapovic, and he says, our goal this season isn't just to beat Baltimore, it's to beat everybody. So Slavisa has some big ambitions here this year.
No question about it. And again, that should be quite a battle between the Wave and Utica City coming up on Sunday. But again, can't overlook the game in Mississauga on Saturday against the Metro Stars, which picked up their second win yesterday as they held on for a 7-6 win over the Harrisburg Heat. Marcio Leyte with it. Wave going right, left here in the second period. Nice crowd on hand for the annual New Year's Eve Day game here in Milwaukee, which is the 26th all-time. Wave with a record of 17-8 on the New Year's Eve Day occasions. Trying to win their third straight on New Year's Eve Day.
You know, another goal or two here by the Wave would force St. Louis to come out a little bit of this defensive shell that they've employed the first half. It's going to be interesting to hear what Giuliano Oliviero, the Wave coach, has to say to Van McNeil at halftime and to see if he mentions any potential adjustments. He usually doesn't give a whole lot, but it'd be interesting to kind of hear his tone and see if we can pick up on anything from Giuliano.
Zach Regan going to get called for the foul off the ball. That is his second in the period. Again, 3 personals in a half, and your team gives up a 2-minute power play. Marcio to Renault. Tried to get it back from Marcio, kept it alive for Renault in the corner. Ambush trying to clear. And eventually foul going to be called against the Wave. Let's check it out one more time.
And I like the approach by the Wave. Marcio attacking that right flank, and when it went down low to Renault, like to see him bank one off the wall and have the players on the far side crash the box.
Again, Milwaukee trying to press against the ambush. Marcos has it taken away by Pereira, and a late whistle there. Foul called.
Bailout call there.
I would think the ambush, if they can hold it to just a 1-goal deficit, no worse than that going into halftime, was going to be pretty pleased. Nascimento steps up. And Suarez at midfield. Suarez coming right down the middle, hammers a shot high. Good job by Marcio to flick it out of there. Dos Santos will keep the possession. Ball dumped in by Almeida. Vandegrift digs it out for the Wave. And St. Louis will recycle back at midfield. Here's Mario Marcos. He's got the only goal so far for the ambush today. That was his 5th of the season. Leite and Heen trying to defend their fellow Brazilian up high. Almeida played his college ball at Oklahoma Wesleyan University as it poked away. And Isaac Pereira, nice job there. Trying to find Heen 20 seconds ago in the half. See if Milwaukee can still generate a chance. Heen's shot is blocked. Andre doing it all himself. Shot is blocked. Rest of the team was changing and staying back out near midfield to avoid a counterattack. Now Max jumps in there. Max with 5 seconds, trying to work a little magic, but taken away. And that's going to do it for the half. Well, great individual effort by Andre Heen, trying to create something, and then Max jumping in at the end, but nobody else able to score as we go to the locker room in halftime. It's the Wave 2, St. Louis 1. Like I said, Art, I got to believe St. Louis not too disappointed with the first half here.
No, they've done a good job executing the game plan Everton's put out for them. And I like the way they've pinned the Wave into their zone once the Wave gains possession. The Wave, on the other hand, need to be a little bit more assertive, getting out in support once they've won the ball. Just that last situation was a great example of it. Is you said that the Wave was making full changes, but there was a couple players that didn't change. They were just walking out behind the play. Be interesting to see what Giuliano has to say right here. See if we can read anything from his tone with Van McNeil.
Yeah, well, we're going to send it down to Coach Olivier. We'll be talking with Van McNeil here in just a moment. And as you said, Art, we'll see what his public perspective is on the first half. Let's send it down right now.
Coach Giuliano Oliviero. How are we looking here this first quarter? How are you feeling?
I feel good. I think St. Louis has a good game plan. They came in, they dropped back behind the ball. They didn't get for our offense to get going, and we just got to stick to the plan and keep trying to create opportunities. It's been a well-played game, good first half, and hopefully we can get behind them in the second half.
St. Louis was one of those teams we kind of wrote off in the past few seasons, but a little bit of a rebuild here with that team that's given us, I don't want to say any trouble, but definitely putting the pressure on.
Hey, they're having a great season. They got some young legs out there. They're sticking. Everton's doing a great job with this team, and you know what? It's going to be an interesting second half.
And what's that mentality into the second half? Staying aggressive?
Absolutely. I mean, this is our home game, and we want to get in the attack, and we just don't want to make any mistakes defensively, and we don't want to beat ourselves.
All right, head coach of your Milwaukee Wave, Giuliano Oliviero, our Midwest Orthopedic Specialty Hospital Coach's Corner. Are we having fun so far here, Wave fans? That's what we like to hear. Let's go Wave.
This is a story about a battle against all the things in life that are hard, and sometimes people don't win. Sometimes stockings are still empty on Christmas morning, or kids go to bed hungry, or don't go to bed at all because they don't have a home. But there's an army dedicated to fighting this battle with hope and compassion. And anyone can join them, anywhere there's a red kettle, because at Christmas, love has an army that fights for good.
Huppy and Abraham has been voted best by the public year after year. Now, top media outlets have rated them best personal injury law firm.
You only have one opportunity to call the best.
Huppy and Abraham. I got almost $4 million.
800,000.
If you've been injured in an accident, tell them you mean business. Call Huppy and Abraham, 800-800-5678, and get their win or it's free guarantee.
We had a vision of creating a sports medicine program from the grassroots level, from peewees to the pros. At Midwest Orthopedic Specialty Hospital, we are taking care of athletes and getting them back on the field. Over 80% of the patients that come to see us for sports-related injuries do not need surgery. That really surprises people. We can relate to our patients because many of us have been there. Athletes like to say they give 110%. Well, guess what? So do we.
How do you see yourself at Wisconsin Vision? Whether you're at lunch with friends, the gym, office, or out for a night in the town, Wisconsin Vision carries designer eyewear to fit every lifestyle. With convenient locations throughout Wisconsin, Wisconsin Vision makes it easy to update your look. Plus, they accept most vision insurance plans. Call to schedule a $49 eye exam and ask how to get 30% off your first pair of complete glasses and 50% off your second complete pair. Wisconsin Vision. See more life.
Every holiday season, Huppy and Abraham likes to get in the spirit of giving. That's why we have our holiday cash contest. And we're doing it again this year. Who couldn't use some extra cash to buy gifts, host a family feast, or maybe even take a vacation? Now is your chance to win some extra money during the holidays. We will be giving away cash in November and December to a few lucky winners. Don't miss your chance to win. Go to huppy.com/holidaycash to learn more and enter today.
Check it out. Hey, we could go down this water pond. What do you think? So beautiful.
You want some? It's good. It's refreshing.
I've never been in love before you. I know now. I've never been in love before.
This is what our version of financial planning looks like. Tomorrow's important, but she's only 7 once. Spend your life living. Today's the day. Find an advisor at northwesternmutual.com.
Into the back of the net. Medina! Go for the birthday boy!
Ambassador, Milwaukee's landmark Art Deco hotel, is the official hotel of your Milwaukee Wave. Beautifully renovated and seamlessly appointed with every modern comfort. The Ambassador offers a bridge between the city's legendary past and its cosmopolitan present. A stay at the Ambassador is a stay at a warm, gracious home away from home, served by true ambassadors of hospitality. The Ambassador Hotel, the official hotel of your Milwaukee Wave.
What did I get from my father? His spirit. I got his warmth, his understanding. What did I learn? His passion for helping others was for me everything I was meant to be.
While every agent's story is different, the promise is still the same. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Oh, hey, sorry I didn't see you there. Just getting ready for the 2019 Milwaukee Milkmen season. Do you not recognize me yet? Van the Milkman McNeil. And speaking of milkmen, special delivery! The 2019 Milwaukee Milkmen opening season schedule is here. Trust me, it is pro baseball that is utterly different. Family fun for everyone, from different theme nights, delicious food, tasty beverages, and more. Check out the schedule. Get your tickets now at MilwaukeeMilkmen.com. Second quarter underway. Bohovich got
Wrapping up the halftime festivities here in Milwaukee. New Year's Eve day, Wave Soccer and MASL.TV. Milwaukee leading the St. Louis Ambush 2-1. Tom went along with the Wave Hall of Famer Art Kramer. Art, a very interesting first half. Not what you exactly call the wide open game as far as the up and down flow or chances for each team. Pretty conservatively played, but pretty intense, pretty physical. And I think we're going to have a pretty good battle coming here in the second half.
It was interesting to hear Giuliano Oliviero, the Wave coach at halftime, speaking to Van McNeil. And one of the things he said was, we got to try to find a way to get behind the ambush. And so the only way you get behind a team that's dropping back defensively like this is to attack early, to get out early and play balls into your target. And then once again, get balls into that target, spin to the boards away from the double team, and then crash into the box. So let's see if that's not one of the halftime adjustments, is to try to find that target and try to play a little quicker going forward once the ball is won.
To say the least, the next goal could be huge. If Milwaukee gets it, then perhaps you're forcing the ambush to try to come out of their defensive shell a little bit. If St. Louis gets it, you're back to even, and they're going to stay very compact, I would think. Here we go. St. Louis in the white uniforms going right to left as we look at the action here at Panther Arena. Takeaway, Santos, Wave 4-3 coming back. Chino looks for Bennett. Back out for Santos. The Wave will recycle back to Leite.
Well, there it was, a 4v3. Wave beat the ambush down the floor, but Bennett elected to back it back out.
They have not had too many odd man rushes so far. Chino across, will leave it for Leite. Stinson sticks a leg in to take it away. Stinson, a St. Charles, Missouri native. He's got some speed, as you see, and goes down. Ambush thought there was going to be a foul called against Leite. There was not. And now the ball knocked to midfield. Now Almeida puts it up in the stands. Or Duarte, I should say.
One of the things I've been impressed with, Tom, for St. Louis has been the defensive play of the first line forwards. Stinson and Reggett have played well defensively, defending the Milwaukee defenders coming out of the back.
Well, they definitely give the ambush some added defensive dynamic that they probably did not have in the past. A couple of young guys with some excellent speed. Reggett especially has excellent speed for his size. And Stinson, of course, just looks like one of those natural speed burners. Here's Max Ferdinand. Max hasn't had too much room to operate today. Made the move and whistle and a foul. Didn't hear the initial whistle call. Wade should get a good restart chance here.
Going to be a great restart opportunity. You mentioned the importance of speed in defending, Tom, but really for forwards in this league, it's commitment. You got to be committed, and both these guys look committed in defending.
Good point. All right, great restart chance for the Wave. Remember, all three goals in this game combined have been off of restart situations. And Giuliano Oliviero not going to mess around. He wants to make sure they get a good chance here and calls timeout. So an early timeout here in the third quarter by Coach Oliviero. But again, that sort of underscores the importance of this opportunity for the Wave.
Wave didn't have a left footer on the field. I'm sure he'd like to get Ruggles down low in this near corner and then get some of his shooters on the floor as well. You're probably going to see Leite, Max Ferdinand, Ian Bennett, Ruggles, and then one other.
Speaking of Drew Ruggles, he has one of the two Wave goals today. Got his third of the year at 4:55 of the second period off the restart pass from Leite. Leite has the other goal from Robert Renaud. That was at the 8:20 mark of the first period. That tied the score after St. Louis opened up the scoring on a restart blast by Mario Marcos at 5:28 of the first period. That was straight in unassisted. Other action in the MASL. This is the only game going today. The rest of the league schedule will pick up Thursday night when the Metro Stars will host the Baltimore Blast in Mississauga. 6:35 p.m. Central start on that. And then later on that night, the Ontario Fury will host the Turlock Express at 9 o'clock Central Time. Fury just barely surviving in Turlock this past Friday as they eked out a 7-6 shootout victory. Jeff Hughes with a 6th attacker game-tying goal with 17 seconds left to go to equalize that one. Fury now 5-2 on the year. The Express it 0-5. Max looked for Ruggles, but Reggett with good anticipation knew the pass was going there and stepped in to knock it away. So Milwaukee's timeout to set that up goes for naught. Josh Lemos with it. Josh having another excellent game today for the Wave, although he hasn't been tested all that much. Max spinning on the board. Plays it up high. Bennett charging in. Bennett battling with Duarte. Good job there by Ian to dig it out. And he'll reset to Ruggles. Across from Marcio. Out high, working against Felipe. Reggett trying to provide some support. Comes out to Ruggles. Cracks a shot wide, and it's just going to climb up over the glass into the stands.
As Ian climbs the glass as well. Trying to make a save. You saw Max Ferdinand, though, spin along the far boards and attack the boards. Got to play that ball low off the boards, though. Went high off the near glass.
Bradley with a good job to get it for Vandegrift. Now here comes Vega up the middle of the field. Guilherme still coming all the way. Shot and a save made by Nascimento. Tried to toe poke it past him. I don't think he got all of it. And a nice play there by the goalkeeper.
Nice aggressive forward run that time by Vega. He just didn't get enough on that toe poke. But a real positive aggressive run that time by the Wave defender.
Guilherme Vega, veteran defender. 6th year of indoor soccer, his 3rd with Milwaukee. Will turn 35 this upcoming April 21st. Ricardinho off the end board as looked like Vandegrift trying to blow his way to the goal that time.
You're seeing the Waves adjustments in play already, attacking a lot quicker once they have possession of the ball and then attacking the flanks. We saw Ricardinho just do there.
Kane trying to post up in the middle, but couldn't quite control the pass. Ricardinho steps in. Now, Petalera had it momentarily for St. Louis. Petalera last year, his first year of MASL activity, 12 games, 10 goals, 5 assists, actually hurt his knee and had to rehab to come back. He's definitely one of the key players for St. Louis. Milwaukee's done a good job to prevent him from really getting any opportunities so far here today. Max working out high against Pepe. Got around him, but now good pickup as Felipe came over to defend Max. Pereira fanned on the shot as he had some space that time.
Swing and a miss there.
Looked like one of my golf swings right there. Here's Renault going to the corner. Play it back out. Vandegrift now up high. Chamali. Here's Chamali. Touch it off. Renault trying to see if he can work his magic against Acosta. Robert coming in with a shot. Save! And the rebound controlled by Nascimento. Acosta moves it across. And Felipe now has some space. Reggett off the inboard. Max deflected away as Petalera was charging through, but could not redirect it on goal. Pace picking up a little bit here in the 3rd period. Another great crowd on hand today here for the New Year's Eve Day Spectacular. We've got to be looking at a good 5,000-6,000 here today.
Real nice crowd considering the weather, Tom, is very rainy, wet, sleet.
Very dreary weather-wise. Had it been about 5 or 6 degrees colder, we could have had a blizzard going on here, but fortunately it was not. More like a St. Louis type New Year's Eve weather, as Mario Marcos pays the price for trying to come down the near wing as the Wave took it away.
I was in St. Louis this weekend, Tom, and normally it's about 10 degrees warmer in the Lou than it is here in the Key, but it was 25 degrees in St. Louis.
A little bit chilly down there for the local natives. All right, we got some James Brown cranking on the music in the background now. Let's see if that will inspire the Wave to possibly get another goal. Vega with it, looks for Ian, trying to turn, still has it, but trying to beat 5 defenders, puts it in off the end board. Nobody there to follow up. Suarez will send it ahead to Marcos. Marcos has the lone goal so far for St. Louis today. To the corner, Marcio tracks him down with help from Alex Bradley. Alex had a big goal in that game down in Florida, December 22nd. When things were still kind of tight, he had a big goal to make it 5-2 against the 6th attacker of the Tropics. Take it away. Now Bradley trying to push up 3-on-3. Fires the left footer and a good save there by Nascimento. Duarte tries to clear, comes out, Vega fakes, got it on the left foot, pass to the near wing, wide of Bradley. Nascimento pokes it away as Alex still battling for it along with Suarez. Whoa, and a solid check here. JT Thomas couldn't call for the foul as he put down Ricardinho, I believe it was. There's Thomas, the second-year forward, originally from Doncaster, England, and had a great career with the Missouri State Bears down in Springfield.
The Blues could use some of that checking lately here.
You know, they've shown a little spark the past few weeks. Enough for Coach Barui to keep his job anyway, for the time being. Art, of course, St. Louis native, diehard Blues fan. But we don't hold that against him. Chino. Centering, shot, a goal! Robert Renaud!
Well, Paulo, the St. Louis keeper, has made several good saves here early in the third to keep the ambush in it. Nothing he could do on that one as Renaud wide open at the back post. So I believe it was Chino that split 3 ambush players with a beautiful look to find Renaud at the back post. Watch this again. Chino with the left foot. Clinical pass to find Renaud.
Boy, that's a big play there to make it 3-1. As Renaud gets his 4th of the year, he's got a goal and an assist today. And Angel Curdiel Chino picks up the assist, his second helper of the year. He's also got 3 goals, 4 or 5 points. Big goal for Milwaukee. They've now scored the last 3 in this game to make it 3-1. So I guess now we're going to see, Art, can Everton stay patient with the pace of play, if you will, trying to keep his defense back, or do they have to open it up a bit?
Well, it was McGee that time, number 70, that got caught ball watching a little bit, left Renaud free. But I tell you, McGee's played a pretty solid game thus far. I've been impressed with the way he's played, but that time, just caught ball watching. Saw Everton down in the huddle. I was watching from up top, and you could see him motioning to get your arms around the forward, wrap them up. If you're not touch tight, you're too far away. Touch tight meaning you should be able to touch the forward of the other team, and that's how tight you need to be.
So big goal for Milwaukee to make it 3-1. As we talked about, the ambush trying to break a 20-game losing streak against Milwaukee. And this game far from over, so I don't think anybody in the Wave is going to be celebrating just yet. But boy, you would think, Art, with each goal being scored, that's anchor on the back. The anchor dragging the ambush down against the Wave just gets heavier and heavier. Stinson trying to send it forward. Chamali cuts it off, now back for Lemos.
Oh, here they come, as you said.
Whoa, Gerger Gibson running in, and too aggressively, he will go to the penalty box. Well, I'm sure Everton wanted more aggression, but this a little too aggressive. Let's check it out.
Lemos might have done a nice job of embellishing that one a little bit. I'm not saying he didn't get him.
But definitely a foul, there's no doubt about that. Hopefully Josh is okay. Gerger with a rather conservative hair coloring today. Usually he's got much more flamboyance.
It's a good match, though. It definitely matches the jersey.
Oh, without question. Without question. He's one of the best I've ever seen at color coordinating his hair with either the uniforms or the circumstances. You see Josh Lemos trying
Take
to
one more look at this one, Tom. See how much, it's going to be hard to see there with our.
Josh, perhaps, if he just getting the wind knocked out of him a bit. Time of the penalty at 7:50 of the third period as Gibson goes to the box for charging or tripping. So the way back in the power play, second time today, St. Louis is 1 for 1 on the penalty kill. Ferdinand will slide it to Liete. Ricardinho across on the other side up top with Bennett and Renault down low. Pepe and Felipe up top for St. Louis as the shot is ripped just wide. Marcio tries to reload. Good recovery there by St. Louis. They've also got Duarte and looks like Suarez out there on the penalty killing unit. That ball deflects right into the arms of Nascimento. Suarez 1-on-4. The Wave gets it back.
I like number 95, Felipe, at the top of this man down unit. Very active. His movement's very quick. He's a big boy, and he really takes away a lot of the passing lanes.
He's another guy that has probably deceptive quickness based on his size. Oh, that one came right out. Ricardinho had a great chance, but drove it wide. Marcio gets it back. Still 45 to go on the penalty on the power play for Milwaukee. Now Marcio trying to go one-on-one, hammers the shot. It's blocked and will stay in play. Ambush trying to clear. Good job there by Ricardinho to take it away from Pepe. Bennett with a shot off the mark. Ferdinand gets it back. Max the corner for Renault. Max again will slide it to Marcio. 10 seconds on the power play. Left foot shot saved Nascimento. Well, Paulo making the saves here on this one. In the middle, shot a goal! Well, Milwaukee stayed patient and Max found Renault in the middle. And the Wave leads it 4-1.
Just 1 second left on that power play, and Renault with his second tally of the afternoon. You said it, Tom. Good patience on the part of the Wave after a really nice job of penalty killing by St. Louis for 1 minute and 59 seconds. Renault found some space in the center of the box and was able to redirect it past Paulo. Paulo made 3 or 4 nice saves on that power play. But here it is. Here's the goal once again. And once again, McGee just a little bit too far away from the Wave attacker in the box.
Boy, pinpoint passing by Max and a quick redirection by Renault. Robert is really becoming a specialist in box conversions. Tell you, one of the best I ever saw at that was Robert's coach, Giuliano Oliviero. One of the best in the box converters you're ever going to see, or that we've ever seen. And let's face it, Art, we've seen just about everybody in Wave history.
A part of it is having the intelligence to get to the open spots. And Giuliano was a master of that. It was just kind of floating around and finding the little gaps in the defense.
Izak cross to the left foot, shot deflected into the arms of Nascimento. 4-1 Milwaukee. Wave has scored the 2 goals here in the third period, and they've scored 4 straight overall. Remember, Ambush jumped out to the lead on that goal by Marcos at 5:28 of the first period. Now Lemos taking a shot there from JT Thomas. Santos picks it up for the Ambush, and he is dumped on the play. Foul is called. Well, then Lemos was a little bit surprised how quickly Thomas got to him there. Check it out one more time. Wisconsin Vision instant replay. Whoa. And JT, a big fella there, finishing him off with a good shoulder check, if you will. Ambush still very much in this thing, especially if they can get the next goal. And Everton going to take a timeout. St. Louis has had virtually no restarts in the Wave attacking zone after that first goal today. And so, sure, Everton wants to make sure they get a good opportunity here, create a good opportunity. So we talked about the Wave going on the road for their next 2 games. Friday the 5th in Mississauga. Excuse me, Saturday the 5th in Mississauga. Sunday the 6th at Utica City. And then right back here at Panther Arena for the next 2 games after that. That will be Friday, January 11th, 7:05. The Wave hosts the Kansas City Comets. And Saturday, January 12th, 1:05. Boy, that's going to be an early wake-up call on that particular day. Especially if you're 55 years or older. When the Wave hosts the St. Louis Ambush. January 12th. Art gave me a look like that one's going to come early. Too early. But anyway, call the Wave office for tickets. That should be a great back-to-back homestand there with the Comets and the Ambush. 414-224-WAVE. You can also order online at MilwaukeeWave.com.
You mentioned that last play that Lemos was a little slow in recognizing the pressure, and that's what happens when a team sits back for 3 quarters, 2.5, 3 quarters. You're not ready for that type of pace in the challenge. And you got to be ready to play quick when a team ups their pressure.
Yeah, no, good point. Analogous to basketball, a team that's been sitting back all game and all of a sudden they put that press on near the end. And yeah, it comes at you a lot quicker than perhaps your perception might be. All right, Ambush with the restart. Zone to the left. Out to Matus, plays it in, and the redirection just wide.
Now that actually was saved by Andre Hain at the back post, or at the near post, I should say.
So Andre keeps it out of there, and that's the second big field player save the Wave has had today. Remember, Chino had a big one in the first period. 6,239 on hand here today as you get a look at McGee Suarez. Again, McGee is spelled
M-A-G-U-I, isn't it, Tom?
M-A-G-U-I, it is, yeah. Not the M-G-E-E or M-G-H-E-E or M-A-G-E-E. Remember the Wave once had a player named Amos McGee. M-A-G-E-E. Amos back from the early to mid-90s. Ball chipped into the stands. Amos actually went on to become a very notable player for the old Minnesota Thunder in the A-League/USL. Oh, nice move there. Here comes Vega coming forward. He's going to crank it up. Shot to goal! Guilherme!
What a pretty goal that time by Guilherme. Beats the Ambush forward along the far boards, 1v1, walks in, and then picks the far left-hand corner and beats Paulo. Watch this individual brilliance this time by number 6, Guilherme Viega.
Time of the goal at 11:56.
And Paulo, the keeper, you saw in that last replay, actually caught leaning just a bit to the near post.
So Guilherme gets his first point of the year as he scores that goal. His 7th in 32 career games with Milwaukee. We'll have to see if there's an assist on that one or not. I think they're saying it's unassisted down there. Foul on Vandergriff as he chops down JT Thomas.
Vandergriff lucky on that play not to see a 2-minute penalty come out. No reason to leave your feet there. St. Louis forwards running away from goal to the far boards.
Good restart chance here for the Ambush. These have been few and far between for St. Louis today, although they scored the only goal on a restart in the first period. In it comes, and a miss hit by Pepe that time. He had a good chance, but just totally mishit it wide. Acosta will track it down and get it back for Nascimento. Now Milwaukee gets it back. Ruggles slides it off for Chino. Off the inboard in front, Bennett shot a goal! Boy, what a read by Chino and a nice finish by Bennett. 6-1 Milwaukee.
Floodgates have opened here in the third for the Wave. Nice ball off the back wall that time by Chino. I thought he underhit it a little bit, but Ian right there, the sniper that he is, beats the ambush defenders in the box and makes it 6-1.
9th of the year for Ian. Chino gets his second assist of the night, his third of the season. And Milwaukee has now made it a 5-goal advantage at 6-1.
You see that yellow lip along the boards, Tom? Fortunately for Chino, that ball, his pass hit just above the yellow lip and it came back nicely to Bennett. A lot of times you see that ball hit the yellow lip and pop up. That one stayed nice and low for Ian in the middle of the box.
Well measured pass by Chino on a nice run by Bennett. Ian, who had 4 goals in each of his first 2 outings this year, was held goalless in the game at Florida back on the 22nd, but he did have an assist on that one, on a nice goal by Max at the end of that. And he gets off the schneid here today with a goal, his 9th of the year. Adrian Perez of Ontario leading the league with 13.
We made several references to the St. Louis Blues in the National Hockey League, and had this been the National Hockey League, Drew Ruggles would have picked up an assist on that goal there, as he started that play with a nice pass to Chino down the right side.
Ricardinho hemmed in by 3 defenders. Now they'll move it up near wing. Here's Vega. Well, Guilherme looking very spry today. He's battled through injuries his first couple of years with the Wave, but tell you, looking good today, Art, that's for sure.
Very good attacking defenseman, 1v1 ability. We've seen him cross over from right to left many times. It was that move down the left-hand boards from right to left that set up that last tally.
Leite was looking inside for Hain. Couldn't make the connection. Wave able to get it back. Last minute of play, third period. Andre got tied up now. Nascimento comes out, moves it up ahead. It's Stinson getting pressure from Vega, and the foul was called.
Well, Josh Lemos has been chomping at the bit all game long to get over that half line. And the fourth quarter is 51 seconds away, Tom. Somebody needs to tell him that, hey, we're winning 6-1. You don't have to go over the half line. You could just see it all game. He's been just wanting to get over.
Shot in, and Lemos is there to make the save. Now 32 seconds left to go in the third period. Well, Josh, of course, is one of the premier ball handlers and distributors among goalkeepers in this league. And before the rule change this year, he used to come forward quite a bit of the time with the Wave the last couple of seasons. Now, you can only do it in the fourth quarter if you're the goalkeeper. Come on the offensive side of midfield with possession of the ball. Renault centering on the play, shot a goal! Hey, how about Isaac Pereira? Fights his way through to get a goal. Milwaukee leads at 7-1.
The wheels have come off for the ambush here in the third. This time it was Robert Renault. And he's got the well, actually Renault, check that, will pick up the assist on this play. It was Pereira that scored the goal after a nice individual work that time by Renault. And a fortunate bounce there in the center of the box. But think back to the timeout, Tom, when the score was 3-1, and you asked the question, would Everton pressure now? And we see now why he chose not to pressure to start the game, because it's been a 4-0 run here to close out the quarter since that timeout.
There's Isaac Pereira, the Mexican native. Still just 21 years old. And he'll turn 22 January 30th. Gets a second goal of his 9-game Wave career. And so, that'll do it for the third period. Wave with a 5-0 outburst in the third to take control of this one. Josh Lemos and the fellas will go the fourth period with...
What did I get from my father? His spirit. I got his warmth, his understanding. What did I learn? His passion for helping others was for me everything I was meant to be.
While every agent's story is different, the promise is still the same. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Hupy and Abraham has been voted best by the public year after year. Now, top media outlets have rated them best personal injury law firm.
You only have one opportunity to call the best.
Hupy and Abraham. I got almost $4 million.
800,000.
If you've been injured in an accident, tell them you mean business. Call Hupy and Abraham, 800-800-5678, and get their win or it's free guarantee.
Every holiday season, Hupy and Abraham likes to get in the spirit of giving. That's why we have our holiday cash contest. And we're doing it again this year. Who couldn't use some extra cash to buy gifts, host a family feast, or maybe even take a vacation? Now is your chance to win some extra money during the holidays. We will be giving away cash in November and December to a few lucky winners. Don't miss your chance to win. Go to hupy.com/holidaycash to learn more and enter today.
We had a vision of creating a sports medicine program from the grassroots level, from peewees to the pros. At Midwest Orthopedic Specialty Hospital, we are taking care of athletes and getting them back on the field. Over 80% of the patients that come to see us for sports-related injuries do not need surgery. That really surprises people. We can relate to our patients because many of us have been there. Athletes like to say they give 110%. Well, guess what? So do we.
Check it out. Hey, we could go down this water pond. What do you think? So beautiful.
Want some? It's good. It's refreshing.
I've never been in love before you. I know now. I've never been in love before.
This is what our version of financial planning looks like. Tomorrow's important, but she's only 7 once. Spend your life living. Today's the day. Find an advisor at northwesternmutual.com.
Well, the 80s are back here at Panther Arena in Milwaukee, and the fans loving every minute of it, especially with the Wave leading 7-1. That is, with the exception of the small handful of ambush supporters here. But, boy, the Wave putting the hammer down in the third period are to take control of this one.
Give Giuliano Oliviero and Marcelo Fontana some credit as well. Some great halftime adjustments. Talked about attacking a little bit quicker, attacking the boards, and the Wave with an offensive explosion there in the third.
Crowd of about 6,300 on hand here today, and they have seen the Wave and ambush in a pretty good battle, but now Milwaukee's starting to stretch it out here a little bit as we start the fourth period. Wave in the black uniforms going right to left as we look at it on the black pitch of the UW-Milwaukee Panther Arena. Foul on Marcos, a frustration foul there as he pushes Chino. Remember, the ambush will be right back here on January 12th, so they don't want to use up too many of their tricks here in this game.
Wait a second. You're talking about a team that's going to lose their 21st straight game to a team, Tom. I'm not sure what those tricks are that you're talking about.
You're probably right about that. Oh, Acosta puts it up into the crowd. That's going to be top of the arc restart for Milwaukee. Acosta, the veteran defender out of Wartburg College in Waverly, Iowa, the reigning MASL Defender of the Year.
And once again, no disrespect intended here. Everton has got this team playing a lot better than they have in the past.
Max Ferdinand! You can put that one on the board. It's 8-1 Milwaukee.
Another restart goal for the Wave. That time a direct shot by Ferdinand from the top of the arc. The ambush not having that wall set up properly, giving away the left side, the post on the left side. See right there, the wall's supposed to take away the corner that Paulo is not in. And just way too much space there for Ferdinand.
Expertly placed by Max, who gets his second goal of the season. Total of 9 points. He had an earlier assist today to give him 7 helpers on the year.
I couldn't tell who was on the end of the wall. It looked like it might have been Acosta, but looked like he was kind of hiding behind the central player. And make yourself big. Could have been Duarte, number 13. It looked like a 3. Either Acosta or Duarte.
Gibson in the corner. They work it back out. Now Dos Santos with it. Well, the Wave is able to keep Ginger Gibson from operating in tight. He's usually a pretty good target presence in there for the ambush, and Wave has really been able to keep him from getting any significant possession so far today. Adamson almost got away with a handball, but they eventually called it. But yeah, I don't think anybody should be drawing any massive conclusions about the state of the ambush, you know, by the end of today's game, if the difference stays the way it is. They are a significantly improved team, and they are going to be a factor in this South Central Division race.
Well, 2 of the 5 get out of the South Central, right? So you're talking Kansas City, St. Louis, Florida.
And the Orlando Seawolves. Yep. That really was a huge win by Kansas City over St. Louis the other night in St. Louis. Comets had lost their first 2 to the ambush, so as a shot in is played back out. Now Regan with it. So St. Louis would have been on the verge of really taking charge in that season series and getting a tie-breaking edge for the season-ending standings, which could determine who goes to the playoffs and who doesn't.
Real nice job by their front office, though, getting people in the seats in St. Louis. Saw that was a nice crowd the other night against Kansas City.
And a great crowd opening nights when they played against the Comets. Paulo, the goalkeeper, now has pushed forward as he, like his counterpart Josh Lemos, can now handle the ball on the offensive half in the 4th quarter. Look at a foul on Guilherme Vega, pushing down Dos Santos.
You see.
Oh, and a look in front, shot and a goal, and Zach Regan might have hurt his right leg there. You see Zach writhing in pain. Hopefully he's going to be okay. Paid the price for that goal, but it gets the ambush back on the board as they break the 8-goal run for Milwaukee. It's now 8-2.
Good job by the big fellow there. Reggett, number 22, out of Kenosha, getting to the back post. Finishing that one off as he beat Vandergriff, I believe. No, he beat Bradley, number 14. See right there.
And I think that was Suarez who gets the assist at 3:09. So Regan converts for St. Louis. And for Zach, that is his team leading 7th goal of the year. Also has an assist for 8 points. Now loose ball, and Pereira able to convert as he chips it up over Paulo to make it 9-2. That's 2 on the day for Isaac. He's got 3 this year.
JT Thomas arguing the play with Rich Grady, but I think Grady made the right call. That ball looked like it got in behind and over the line. Watch once again right here. Pereira going to be tough to tell on that one, but Here's a really good look at it right here from behind the goal. Absolutely, that ball's totally over the line.
The Wisconsin Vision instant replay.
Great work there by our camera crew, Tom, as always.
Ian Bennett with a nice job to play the wall pass out of the corner to set up Pereira, so Ian will get credit for the assist, his third of the year, and his second point of the night. Bennett, the Waves lead scorer with 12 points. So in case the ambush was going to turn the momentum around, the Wave quickly answers there. Takeaway. Now Chino going 1-on-2 with the goal peeker out of it. Chino coming in. Chino walking all the way in. And I believe Renault's going to get credit for the goal. The ball was not going to fully go across the line, and Renault put it in, and he and Chino having a few chuckles. That might be the first time I've ever seen Chino smile on the field.
I'm not sure what the last player in defense for the ambush was doing. He's still on the ground right now. He sells himself out right here. What is he going down for? Where is he going? Where is he going? My goodness.
Who is? That's Suarez.
Was it Suarez or McGee?
I think it was McGee Suarez right there.
Oh, okay, gotcha. I got it.
You know, it was almost like Artie had put up so much energy in today's game, he just had nothing left anymore when he got.
He sold himself out so early.
And wow, Ian Bennett, I didn't see what happened to Ian. That is not good at all. Behind the play, Wave now leading 10-2 after the goal by Renault. At 4:02, they're going to take Ian right away back to the locker room. So hopefully that is not too expensive of a goal for Milwaukee. Didn't see the play, what happened there. But obviously we hope it's not going to be too serious. Robert Renault with the hat trick today. 3 goals today, 6 on the year. Chino gets the assist. And Angel Curiel with a couple of assists today. Three assists today for Chino. Okay, so that was at midfield where Bennett was initially involved in the play. That's where Nascimento ran into him on the challenge. Ball is poked loose. Andre Hain will track it down for Milwaukee. And cycle it back. Chino. Chino, active game today on both ends of the field.
So the song they got on right now, Tom, is Rapper's Delight. It's about a 10-minute song. The Wave should just hold the ball during this whole song.
Well, that would really be something if they could do that. Take away Stinson. He's 2-on-4. Max steps up to challenge him and avoids the foul.
Just keep it until the part where Master G comes on.
Oh, that'd be pretty good possession there if they could do that. Ferdinand with a shot partially deflected. Might have been trying to pass it there. Back come the ambush. Thomas into the corner. Good hustle by Vega to double team. Try to pry it out of there. Thrown down by Thomas, no call, out it comes. Shot by Marcos is high, but we get a foul on the rebound. Still 9:14 left to go. Talking about the ambush and their upcoming action.
Here's the play with.
So we take a look at, boy, I tell you, it looked like Bradley was the one who got fouled that time by Marcos, but they called it against Alex. After today's game, Ambush will go back home to host the Florida Tropics this upcoming Saturday, January 5th, in a 7:05 p.m. contest. Shot by Pepe is rejected by the Waves' defensive wall. And then the Ambush will be back here to play the Wave, as we mentioned, Saturday, January 12th at 1:05. They'll also go back to play the Comets at Kansas City on January 18th. Schedule does not get any easier for the Ambush. We'll try and see if we can get an update on Ian Bennett as Ian went to the locker room after that. Looked like he might have suffered a leg injury in that collision with St. Louis goalkeeper Paulo Nascimento.
I was thinking about it last night, Tom. I was thinking, St. Louis much improved. What are they lacking? What are they missing? And really what came to mind was they don't have any superstar players. You look at the Wave, you look at Max Ferdinand, you look at Ian Bennett, Marcio Leite. I mean, these are superstar indoor soccer players. And that's the one thing that, if you could say St. Louis needs, and it's not just where you can just go out and pick up a superstar, right? But I think that's what separates these teams is the superstar players the Wave have at their disposal, really.
Well, each of the big four teams in the MASL usually has at least a couple of them.
It's been interesting to see the start that Frank Tayu has gotten off to in Monterey. I was looking at him saying, whoa, he's only got 4 goals and 1 assist in 3 games. Only 4 goals in 3 games. But for Frank Tayu, that is a small number.
71 goals a year ago playing in Sonora. Of course, fans who follow the MASL realize he was playing on a field that was, 3/4 the size, maybe, of regulation.
But King Tayu has always been quick to point out that his numbers away from Sonora were just as good as in Sonora. Now, the fans weren't always buying it on the MASL forum, but I guess we'll see here as the season goes on.
I would still expect them to be probably in at least the 40-goal range, I would think. But Monterey probably a little more conservative in their game plan than Sonora used to be as well. We've reached the midway point of the 4th period, actually just past it. 7:02 left to go. And the Wave leading 10-2. As time for the media timeout.
Did you see Van? Van running back to the Wave locker room. Hopefully we'll have an update on Ian Bennett.
Again, stick around after the game concludes. We'll go down to Van to talk with our PCI hardest working player of the game. Got a lot of candidates here today so far, Art.
I think it's a no-brainer. It's got to be Robert Renaud. It's his bobblehead day. He's got a hat trick. Only thing he doesn't have today is not wearing that 3-piece suit. He's sporting on the bobblehead.
So the Wave on the road to Mississauga, which is a Toronto metro area, in case any of you fans are looking to take a road trip up there to see the Wave take on the Metro Stars at the Paramount Fine Food Center in Mississauga, Ontario. And then Sunday afternoon in Utica against UCFC, Utica City Football Club. Very challenging road trip lying ahead for the Milwaukee Wave, Art.
Give me your top 3 Canadian all-time Wave players.
Well, Giuliano would certainly be there. And I guess I would have to say probably Robert Renaud and Josh Lemos.
Well, I think the little general, Stevie Morris, has got to be in there.
Stevie Morris, absolutely. Yeah, that's true. Although I still think of Stevie more Scottish than Canadian, as he was originally from Scotland, shot and a goal by Justin Stinson. So Ambush is not just going to roll over for the rest of this one. They're back within 7 at 10-3.
The Stinson-Reggett line has done pretty well here. Number 21, Stinson right here. Slick little pass in the attacking third, and then Chamali got caught ball watching. Allowed Stinson to get in behind him.
8:11, the time of the goal is Justin Stinson. Put St. Louis back on the board. Almeida will get the assist. And so it's 10-3. Now the ambush coming out of the media timeout with some purpose there. They still got a long way to come back.
Saw that play that time. I talked about Chamali. It's when the man you're marking lays a ball off and then goes to run past you. Don't turn with the ball. Turn with the man and rub him right out of the play. Better at 10-2 than at 2-2.
Much better. Lemos plays it nicely off the wall. Santos will cycle it back to his goalkeeper. Josh, as we talked about, one of the best goalkeepers in this league as far as going forward with the ball, but again, due to the rule change, you can't do it until the fourth quarter this year. And under the current game situation, I would agree with your assessment, Art. You probably don't want him to do it too much. Wave maintaining a 7-goal lead at this point.
Let me rephrase that for you, Tom. You don't want him doing it at all. Not too much, not at all.
Max draws the contact from behind him. Stinson puts him down.
And someone at home might be saying, well, how come? You're up 10-3. It's entertainment. Let the goalkeeper come forward. You see a yellow card there for Stinson. He kicked the ball at Max Ferdinand while he was lying on the ground, and that's what gets him the card. Watch right here on the turn, and then Bemp kick the ball at him. But once again, why wouldn't you do it? Because, listen, you can see the ambush is still competing. They're still playing physical, and you don't want your goalie coming out over the half line and getting whacked by one of the ambush players, and then you're out for the rest of the season. So that's why you stay back in your own half of the field. And let's get out of here 5:25 from now, and we can go out and have some fun.
.9:35, the time of the penalty. 5-minute dissent call against, or delay a game. That was a yellow card anyway against Stinson.
We want to see Josh Lemos tonight in his party hat with his little noisemaker on Water Street without crutches.
Yeah, good point. Very good point. Oh, centered across. And Andre Hayne has it. Yeah, and especially since we don't know it, Ian Bennett might be on crutches following today's game. We don't need anybody else in that situation. So let's see if the Wave is content to just knock it around here for the last 4:40. I don't think the fans will complain too much. They've seen Milwaukee put up 10 goals today. Wave came into today's action having outscored their opponents 27-16. St. Louis have been outscored 40-31. So Milwaukee averaging at this point 9.25 goals per game. We're going to have a penalty called as Jeremy Vega is going to get run to the box for.
Actually, it's Daniel Chamali.
Or Chamali, excuse me. Just pounding down his opponent. St. Louis will go on the power play at 10:45 of the fourth period.
There it is once again right there. Chamali up the backside. And although he didn't agree with 4:15, I'm sure Rich Grady and Ryan Sigich don't want to see this thing get any more physical than it's been.
That was Pedalera, Clayton Matus that got put down. Reagan fires a shot that's wide, rebound in tight as Thomas tried to put one in, and now Lemos is dumped. And, or is the penalty going to go against Josh? I guess it is. I thought they were going to call it on Dos Santos. Lemos rather incredulously saying, how does it come against him?
See, and this is where the Wave just needs to be smart. This game it's over for all intents and purposes.
One more time.
Let's not do anything silly.
Instant replay.
Well, you know, when you're a kid, you're taught to protect yourself by getting that knee up and the elbow out as a goalkeeper, and that's what he did there. But once again, you know, you got to be careful with where that knee goes.
So the ambush is going to end up getting a PK out of this. Penalty kick coming.
And once again, Tom, you know, the call's been made. Whether you agree with it or you disagree with it, just get in the goal and let's move on.
All right, let's see what we got here. And a shot and a goal as Clayton Mathus puts it away for St. Louis. It is now 10-4, excuse me. Time of the goal at 11:01 as Clayton gets the second straight goal for the ambush.
The ambush still going to be on the power play here. We'll have a one-man advantage for the next minute 45.
Third of the year for Clayton on the PK, which of course also counts as a power play goal. So that'll pump up the St. Louis power play efficiency a bit there. Justin Stinson, who had scored about 3 minutes earlier, scored his 5th of the year from Almeida to make it 10-3, and now Clayton on the penalty kick to make it 10-4. So the ambush is still out there trying to do some damage here. You saw Ricardinho now in the box with Chamali. Now, I would assume he was serving the penalty for the goalkeeper, Lemos.
But the goal was scored, correct?
The goal was scored, so he should come out of there. Well, maybe he's just having a good time talking with Chamali over there.
He heard there was a nice chair down in that penalty box, Tom.
Yeah, that's right. The official Art Kramer chair is down there. Yeah, and Scotty Fellows laughed at us when we talked about keeping the chair down there. And there's an own goal scored by Chino to make it now 10-5. Well, the ambush making this thing a lot closer than it was up to this point. 11:33. Dos Santos is going to get credit for the goal that deflected in off of the Waves' Chino. 3 straight by the ambush here in the last 3 minutes and 22 seconds.
Saw Marcio overcommitting a little bit defensively on the first attacker, and then Chino not able to get his hips turned, facing outwards, and the ball deflects off him into the Waves' net.
Dos Santos with his first of the year, as we talked about. He was an overtime game-winning goal-scoring hero for the Chicago Mustangs back here in 15-16. Scored the game-winning goal in a game that ended up being 11-10. As you can probably recall that thriller, that one had quite a flair to it. That was the second straight New Year's Eve game that went to overtime. The Wave had lost the previous one in a shootout to the Kansas City Comets the previous year. But they bounced back with a couple of victories each of the last 2 years on New Year's Eve Day, and well on their way to this one with a 5-goal lead and 2:51 to go. Milwaukee trying to go 18-8 all time on New Year's Eve Day. And they have played an annual New Year's Eve Day game here every year since the 1998-99 season. Played a couple before that, but consecutively since that 98-99 season. 97-98, I should say. Which was the Waves' first championship year, but they lost that game to the Harrisburg Heat.
So if there's any little kids out there watching the game and they'd like a little tip from an old soccer player, if you don't want to get kicked when you're winning by 5 or 6 goals, don't dribble.
Drew Ruggles scores again for Milwaukee, his second of the afternoon, and Milwaukee back on top by 6, 11-5. Another restart goal for the Wave. Technically their 3rd of the day and actually their 4th overall.
Ruggles with tremendous accuracy with that left foot on the restarts. That time it was Jonathan Santos. Put a nice weighted pass on Ruggles' left foot. You see Hain trying to redirect it at the far post, but didn't need to. That ball beats Paulo.
Drew with his second of the day, fourth of the year. And Jonathan Santos with the assist. Well, Jonathan getting on the score line. Is that another solid game defensively? I tell you, Jonathan looking pretty good start of the year here.
Now for 2.5 quarters, Tom, Paulo had a pretty good game going, and then the wheels just came off defensively for St. Louis. And his numbers are going to be awful following this one.
Well, they've inserted the extra attacker for what it's worth now. I think that's Lucas Almeida donning the jersey there. Still got 1:50 left to go on this one. Vega will play her back for Lemos. And Josh fading back with the left foot launch to the stick. You know, Josh is trying to keep his goals against down. It was 5.33 coming into today's game, and Ambush already has put 3 on him here in the 4th period. So I'm sure he does not want to give up any more. Sixth attacker restart, top of the arc for the Ambush. And a nice block there, Santos. Adamson reloads. Shot is blocked. Here comes Renault. Running 2-on-1 with Santos on his right. Robert will lay it off, and Santos puts it wide. And I don't think Robert Renault is going to lay one off to Santos if that situation occurs again today.
Well, the way I figure it, Tom, Santos is like, let's just get this game over with. If I score this, you're talking another 2-3 minutes. Let's keep the play going.
Robert's thinking at the very least he's going to get a goal or an assist out of it, and neither materialized. Marcio trying to come out of there. Ambush keep the zone. Now Vega heads it up, and it actually went out of play. Stayed on the field because it hit the retaining net. 49 seconds left. Ambush would still like to get another one here if they can. Still going with the extra attacker. There's Almeida. Steps up. Challenged by Santos, and he's going to be called for a foul. Looked like Almeida was going to be the guilty party there. And Santos having a few words for him there. That looked like that was going to be a penalty coming up against Almeida. But a little grappling there by Santos initially.
We've had way too much excitement the last 4 minutes, Tom.
Yeah, no doubt. This Wave was cruising with a 10-2 lead midway through this period, and all of a sudden the penalties and the whistles really started to add up here a bit, slowing this thing down. But again, give the crew, Ryan Sigich, Rich Grady, a good job of keeping things under control. This is a very intense battle here today.
They've done a really good job. The first half was extremely difficult to referee.
Yeah, tight quarters, very physical. Thought they did an excellent job. And really probably had to blow the whistle a few times here to keep things under control. Ball ends up in the stands, and the final score, Milwaukee 11, St. Louis 5. Stick around, fans. We're going to send it down in a couple minutes. Van McNeil will be talking with our PCI Construction hardest working player of the game. That'll be Robert Renault. Tremendous game today for Robert, as he had 3 goals and a couple of assists. And just a good overall team effort today by Milwaukee as they win their 4th straight to start the year, 4-0. Ambush dropped their second straight. They go to 3-4. Don't forget, teams will be coming right back here to play again on Saturday, January 12th at 105. Get your tickets for that game and also any others this year by calling the Wave office, 414-224-WAVE. You can also order online at MilwaukeeWave.com. Wave on the road this upcoming weekend, January 5th in Mississauga, January 6th in Utica City, and then right back here for a big double weekend. So, Art, we better get ready for that back-to-backer coming up January 11th against the Kansas City Comets, 7:05, January 12th against the Ambush at 1:05.
It's been a great start so far for Giuliano Oliviero and the Wave. No surprise, though, they've got a lot of talent on this team. Let's hope they can stay healthy.
Third straight New Year's Eve Day victory for the Milwaukee Wave as they go to 18-8 all time. And yeah, I would say, Art, really that's the only major concern right now. Can the Wave maintain decent health as we grind it through the 18-19 season? They certainly have the experience and the skill to get it done otherwise. And that man right there, his reemergence coming back from the knee surgery last year is huge. Robert Renaud, R-squared. And great to see Robert have a big game today. He's looked good so far this year. You got to believe his confidence is building as this his season of return continues.
Only fitting on his bobblehead day that he would score the hat trick and be what I assume player of the game.
Yep. Yep, very appropriate. You see him talking with Antonio Manfoot. We didn't see Manfoot today. Apparently dinged up the other night in the game against Kansas City, so he did not appear today for the Ambush. Great crowd again today, 6,300 or so, and they saw a great show today. And Wave 4-0. Remember, their team record start of the season occurred last year when they went 12-0 to start the year. So they still got a ways to get to that, and their opening season winning streak will definitely be tested in this upcoming road trip to Mississauga and Utica City. No question about that. And we'll try and see, perhaps by the time we get to the interview with Van, if he's got an update about Ian Bennett. Ian, again, going off midway through the fourth period after he was involved in a collision with St. Louis goalkeeper Paulo Nascimento. Let's send it down to Van.
Yes! How about them Milwaukee Wave? Now, time for our Professional Construction Incorporated hardest working player of the game. You got the Robert Renaud bobblehead, right? How ironic that he is our hardest working player of the day. Get over here, Robert! Give it up for number 9, Robert Renaud. A nice win there. How are we feeling after this win, Robert?
Oh man, feels amazing. What a way to finish the year. With the win, 4-0, undefeated. No better way to finish the year, man.
To be the only undefeated team in the Major Arena Soccer League, that has to say something about how good we are this year.
Absolutely, man. We put in the work week after week, and it shows on the field.
Yeah, you're talking about putting in the work, and something that I've noticed this year, our offensive players are really stepping up on the defensive side, you included.
Oh, absolutely. So it's one thing that as a team we thought we could have done better last year. And if everybody puts in the work defensively, I don't think anybody could stop us now.
Now, lastly, how do we feel here about this bobblehead? It looks just like you. You got to be happy with that.
Honestly, I think it looks better here than over here, but hey, it means a lot to me, man.
Look at that. That's fitting for the new year. Give it up for our PCI hardest working player of the game, number 9, Robert Renaud. Thank you, Robert. Congratulations. Happy New Year. Absolutely. All right. Join us for our next Wave game. Wave fans, we'll see you January 11th and January 12th here at UW Milwaukee Panther Arena. First, on the 11th, it's the Soccer Around the Clock game. Then we turn it around the next day for the Emoji Face-Off. Tickets and more at MilwaukeeWave.com. For the entire crew here at UW Milwaukee Panther Arena, under the direction of Mr. Charlie Wise, Scott Johnson, and Jim Ranelli. My name is Van McNeil. Have a great night. Final score, Milwaukee Wave 11, St. Louis Ambush 5. Let's go Wave.